Hello to all who still remember me and my channel. I was out for a while because I became a military person. And sorry for my English. But we here close to a guy who knows English much better than me. This guy.
I guess my friend exaggerates. Блять, давай заново нахуй, я не могу.
Я смогу нарезать это все.
He exaggerated a bit. Well, I'm also sorry for my perfect Russian accent. Hello to you all.
So where you sit? What is it?
Well, it's a crater from a, I guess, a motor. Yes, motor shell.
You are a fake one? A fake person?
No.
Like I found somewhere to make that interview?
No, I'm a real person. I'm a real Russian volunteer who is fighting in Ukraine right now.
How old are you?
I'm 24-year-old.
So you very young guy.
I guess quite young in comparison to all other volunteers, because they're much older, around 40 years old or even older.
Yeah, usually older generation much more supportive about this war than you,
Yes,
than your generation.
Yes, my generation is really skeptical, to say the least, about this war. Yes, they're really critical about our government and this war in particular. Well, and in many ways, I guess they are right, to be honest.
But you here,
Yes,
you
but I'm
support,
here.
but you think they're right.
I guess in some ways they're right. I am not a fan of Putin and I'm not a fan of Russian government. I took part in meetings, in anti-government meetings more than a year ago.
But it's better to not to say that in this round of people.
Yeah, because
they hate Navalny.
Yes, they hate Navalny, but I'm not a fan of Navalny either. But I think that Russian government made a mistake when they imprisoned Navalny. That's why I took part in meetings, and I don't support Russian government.
Maybe we'll touch this topic later. Right now, I think a lot of people see you as a monster, as a terrible person.
Yes.
You are against democratic, free Ukraine, most democratic country in the world.
Yes, but I don't think that Ukraine is very democratic.
Is it democratic at all?
No, I don't think, because you don't see what they do with the people who oppose their government. They've imprisoned, they've tortured a lot of people, a lot of pro-Ukrainian people who don't trust the Ukrainian government, who don't support Ukrainian government enough. They've killed their own people, they've imprisoned their own people, they've done a lot of terrible stuff with pro-Russian activists.
I guess a lot of people will say this is Russian propaganda and you are Putin supporter, you are a zombie or something like that.
Well,
brainwashed. Yeah.
No. I've seen a lot of brainwashed people around here, from both sides. from Russian side and from the Ukrainian side. I don't think that I'm a brainwashed person, because I'm fighting for least evil side of this war. Because I think if my country doesn't win this war, it will collapse. Russia will collapse if we don't win this war.
It will be a civil war in
Yeah.
Russia.
If we lose this war,
A war
it may-
between your generation and our generation, maybe, in some way.
yes, it may turn into a civil war, internal Russian war between people who are mostly Western orientated against people who are orientated, I don't know, maybe to the east, or internally orientated into the Russian tradition or something like that.
So Ukraine, don't you think we all just should support Ukraine?
It's a completely corrupt country, much more corrupt than Russia. Yes, and they don't have any positive side to their country, only negative. Their main ideology is to be anti-Russia, anti-something, and you can't build a good country when you hate your neighbor and when you hate half of your country, because a lot of people in this country, in Ukraine, they support Russia. They still support Russia, and they are being prosecuted right now for that. Even church is persecuted, and there is religious disunity in Ukraine, and there is illegal persecution of priests, of Ukrainian priests, of Orthodox priests nowadays in Ukraine.
It will be hard to many people in the world to believe this.
But you can read this up in the unbiased sources. No, you can read it not in Russia Today or other Russia-affiliated press, but in unbiased sources.
For example,
I don't know.
we don't know. I know some small sources like the Duran. You can find this channel on YouTube.
Mm.
Alexander Mercuris, Alex Christoforou, hosts of the Duran. But
I
it's
don't know, maybe Paul Joseph Watson.
yeah, it's hard to remember
All, them all.
some alternative points of view, big points of view at least. How long are you here?
I've been here for 2.5 months.
Do you kill some guy?
I don't think that I have killed anyone yet. Yes, maybe. It's
But
possible, but the possibility of it is, I guess, it's low.
and you killed with this toy?
Yes, with this Chinese-made toy.
Yeah.
Yes, it's Star Wars blaster.
Yeah. And your profession here is?
Drone operator. Yes, I help to operate drones. I've operated drone myself. I've done this all.
I guess it's one of the most hateful profession here,
Yes, I guess.
because a lot of people died partly because of us.
Yes, I guess so. because it's a very very deadly profession here. It's a very risky profession too. Yes.
But I think war is kind of honest place, because you are always in danger, and some of us wounded, killed. They hunting for us. We are hunting for them.
Yes.
This we don't. Do you want this war to still happen?
I don't want to prolong this war. I want to end this war because a lot of civilians suffer from both sides. A lot of soldiers, ordinary people, a lot of ordinary Ukrainian soldiers who were forcefully mobilized are suffering now. A lot of them are ethnically Russians, and they are made to kill their Russian comrades on this side.
We all are waiting for this tank, mixed tank army.
We're all are waiting for Ukrainian counter-offensive. We're all waiting for the US and NATO supplied tanks and armor vehicles to fight here.
And
we're all preparing for it.
But are we hope for diplomatic solution, or we just want total victory?
Of course I want total victory, because if this war ends with diplomatic solution, it will eventually continue. Within 5 or 10 years we'll still fight. After a ceasefire, the ceasefire will be broken and we'll fight again, and I don't want this to happen. I want a decisive end to this war.
But for Western countries, not for Europe, first of all for US, it's a beneficial war.
Well,
they sell oil, they got big manufacturers, or how to say that, right, from Europe.
I don't totally agree with this, because US also suffers from rising oil prices, from rising cost of living, and primarily ordinary US citizens suffer. I've been in the US several times.
What your favorite city?
My favorite city is Miami Beach, because I've been there on my holidays with my family. I really enjoy it.
And you share Western values?
Yeah,
right?
I share Western values. I'm pro-democratic. I'm for democracy. I'm against authoritarian countries.
Don't you think the US becomes an authoritarian country?
Well, we can really see a degradation in US political institutions. But I guess US is far from becoming an authoritarian country. A lot of people are really trying to make it, because they make free speech and free thinking almost impossible. Because I see that different opinions are being censored, and I don't like to see that. Yes. I don't like the degradation of the West in general, but I don't know how to stop it.
Is it cultural degradation as well?
Well, I guess so. Um, I don't recall any good films for a long time. I guess
Oscar become. What do you think about Oscar? Best movies in the world.
I haven't seen Oscar in a long time, and I don't like the films that are presented there. Years ago, there were really good films, but nowadays it's all just complete rubbish. It's all just Marvel, mediocre Marvel films at best, and I'm fed up with this mediocrity, and I'm really eager for really good films that were, I guess, in the 90s, in the 80s, and before that time, in the golden age of cinema.
I guess it was also a time where white people and black people can joke about each other.
Yes, I guess comedy have also degraded, because what made US comedy the most widespread and the best comedy in the world? Free speech, because in a lot of different countries you can't talk about that, you can't joke about that, but if you have almost total free speech, you can express your opinions, you can find new ways of comedy, of stand-up, and I guess it's good.
Do you saw Get Out movie? Get Out. Isn't it strange? And it's not only the Get Out. It's a line of new kind of movies, strange movies,
well,
not funny.
Well, I've seen the review of this movie, and I don't think that problem is close to me. I guess we don't have such problem with political correctness right now in Russia, and this problem is not really close to me.
And we still can joke about different nation in Russia, but not always. Sometimes.
Yes, we have. I guess we have in a lot of ways similar problems with political correctness, and you can't always joke about a lot of stuff, a lot of political stuff. For example,
You can say about Putin anything.
Well, yes, I guess so. A lot of stuff in Russia is censored in comedy, but
What you can't say in Russia.
well, a lot of politically incorrect stuff about different nationalities, or you'll be prosecuted by their ethnic groups, by Russian laws.
I agree. But about politics, I guess it's the most important thing. Can you joke about it? Can you speak about any problem you see?
I guess there is censorship in the West and in Russia, but I guess in different ways. Yes, because in Russia you'll be censored if you joke about certain political stuff, especially on the TV.
As example,
Well,
to support Navalny.
Yes.
Yeah.
Or
on the web you can, but on TV no. Or you think I'm not right?
You can't roast Putin. You can joke about, I guess, his family, the family of the most prominent Russian officials, will be censored. I can't imagine
Some drone fly over here.
some drone just flew over our heads. I guess it's our drone.
Yeah, we almost, it's almost certain our drone.
Yeah.
It's a lot of drone here flying at day and night.
Yes, because the person who is filming me right now was injured by the Ukrainian drone. He was almost killed by it.
Not all. It's just small wound.
It was just a scratch.
Yep. Is it good money here? Do you think our government give good money to participate in this
Well,
war?
Yes, I guess our government. No, I don't guess. I'm certain that our government gives all of our soldiers good money to participate in this war, and it gives and it pays to our mobilized troops, to volunteers. Yes, really good money, and it pays if you're injured, and it pays your family if you are killed, and it's good money by Russian standards.
I guess a lot of people will say you are here for this money.
Well, I'm from a quite well-off family, and I'm quite a well-off person, and I don't really need this money, because in comparison to the risk I get here, this money don't worth it.
Don't you think? How you think? Are a lot of people here for this money?
Yes, I guess so.
What percentage?
I guess
You will
20-30%.
How?
Well,
How much?
it depends on the regiment you're in. If you're a volunteer, maybe it's higher. Maybe it's 40, 30, 40, or 50, even 50%.
But these people
But these people who,
going away first, I guess.
yes, because some people desert, some volunteers can desert from this war, and they're not prosecuted by our government if they decide to end their participation in this war.
I see a mouse here. It's on our way. It's a cute mouses here. Hairy
Yes,
little things.
I was afraid that there would be a lot of angry rats, but right here there are mostly cute mice. They're so fluffy and round. Yes,
Yeah, and
they're like hamsters.
yeah. Хвост.
Tail.
They have a small tail, not like hamsters, but very close.
They really remind me of hamsters.
Yeah, a lot of hamsters here,
Yeah, there
like
are
hundreds.
Yeah, there are a lot of mice here.
When you watch this area through the iron ray vision, or not iron, infrared vision, it's hundreds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We can see a lot
And
of
you-
mice from our drones.
And you saved some of them,
Yeah,
and I can show this video right now
yeah,
how you saved them.
yeah. I've definitely saved some of them.
A guy who saved mices or how to
Mices.
say mices and killed some people.
Yes.
Isn't it dark irony?
Yes. I guess there are a lot of. I guess there is. Oh. Покажи.
Чё там?
Show me. It looks like an RPG. It looks like an RPG.
I don't sure people will see it.
Yeah, we can still see the smoke moving here.
It's a small thing. This war. You saw better things, isn't it? Much more bigger and danger.
They're dangerous. And yes, I've seen much more dangerous stuff, and I was almost killed a lot of times by mortar fire, by Ukrainian mortar fire, and I can say that most of it is really accurate, but they suffer from the lack of
Munitions.
yes, from lack of ammunition. Both sides right now suffer from the lack of ammunition.
And it's surprising thing for Russia.
Yes.
We was hoping Russia better at war.
Yes.
Like I guess a lot of people in the world.
Yeah. I thought that this war would be over within 2 weeks or maximum a month, but we're still here a year over.
Yep, and it's sad thing.
Yes, it's a bit sad. It's a bit depressing even.
Yep. What the most dangerous thing? What
was
event made you? I don't know how to say that right. Made you fear of something most dangerous thing.
Well, I guess it was a heavy and very accurate mortar fire. It was a month ago. Again.
I see. It's a small things.
Yeah.
It's not interesting.
Yes,
People want big blasts on camera.
Yes, and well, that day, I guess the most heavy clash I took part in was when there was, I guess, a Ukrainian drone who was seeing us, who saw us and who noticed us, and it fired really accurately. A lot of people were wounded back in that day, and some of our volunteers were killed. We were really close to death a lot of times, and I don't know how I'm still alive, because it's just nothing short of a miracle that we're both alive right now.
But we are still here.
Yes.
For something.
Yes. We're still here
For Russia, I guess.
For Russia, because
And for peace. Isn't even if it sounds crazy.
yes.
We are, no, I think we're here for peace, because we can't stop this war. If not this war, it will be war in Russia.
Yes, I guess so.
We have no choice. But maybe you see it in different view.
No, I agree with it. We have two options: either win or die, and we are forced to win, and we'll win.
Hope so.
Yes.